Hey, my name is Andy Delgado. Welcome to Andy Taught Me How. And today we are going to connect Google Workspace to BizStackPro. And we're going to be using this account that I'm creating today, brand new everything. We're going to be using this with the Andy Taught Me How website and all of the things that we'll need to do for automation. And if you send me a message to Andy at Andy Taught Me How, I'll be able to get it. So let me share my screen and we'll get started. I'm going to share. And we're going to share a desktop too. Now, in case you don't know this already, I've got three screens, three monitors on this computer. And so I'm always looking all around, and I'm going to do my best to keep all the work focused on this center monitor so that you and I are talking to each other. Let's go. We are looking at connecting Google Workspace to BizStackPro. Before we get started, I'm going to need to turn on my mouse. By the way, I use Linux, so you may see things that you're not used to seeing. Mouse dash y dot show. All right, now you can see my mouse. All right. And we are going to close this, and I have made it easy for all of us to get to where we need to go. Plus, it helps fund the channel. So if you are going to connect to a brand new Google Workspace account, then please go to Andy, if I could type right, andydelgado.com/workspace. Okay, and that's a shortcut that will take you to my affiliate link for Google Workspace. If you use that, I sure would appreciate it. So we can start a trial. I'm going to use the standard version for the main reason is because I want some of these additional options and add-ins that we get, especially the ability to use Gemini if I choose to in the future. Now, you already know that I use ChatGPT for just about everything. ChatGPT and I have established a rapport. It knows me. It knows my personality. It knows some stories that I've created, that I've published, I should say, about me and my grandkids and my family and my businesses, that kind of thing. So I use ChatGPT. That doesn't mean that I won't use Gemini. And for just a few dollars more from my regular price of $630, I get more space. That's good because I can store more images if I need to, or if I don't do so good at cleaning out my inbox. So let's start a trial. The business name is Andy Taught Me How. Just me. And I'm in the United States. Now, I'm going to need a contact info, and I always use this one is fine. No, I don't want to set up Google Workspace with Apollo Step because it already is. I already have an existing domain. And this is one good thing about this whole setup is you're going to get to see how to set up Workspace to verify that you are who you say you are by adding some records to your domain as well. And we'll do that through Namecheap. So my domain name is andytaughtmehow.com. And we're going to say next. And if you hear, you shouldn't hear it, but in case you do, if you hear any noise in the background, it's because we have a rainstorm that's just rolling in. All right, use this domain to set up the account, andytaughtmehow.com. That is it. We're going to say next. We'll use your username to sign into your Google Workspace account, and that's going to be Andy. And I'm going to tell it a super secret password, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. By the way, this is a secure account in that I'm using at least 10 letters. I have a mixture of uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols in that password. If I want to go super secure, the longer you go, the longer your password is, as in the number of characters. The more characters you have, every character is an order of magnitude as far as password complexity. So that's why you see some people say 12 to 20. I'm okay with 10, except I spelled something wrong. Let's try it all over again. I was talking too much. Now, if I didn't do caps lock or anything stupid, I should be ready to go. It's thinking. You see the little swirly gig right there? There we go. We're going to say next. Not yet been verified. All right. So I actually have a project broadcast account, and I was able to send it to that phone number. So good. 497-299. Next. Okay, so we're using an in-private window in Mozilla Firefox because I've already got so many Google accounts attached to my phone number and it knows me. So I'm having to do a little bit of trickery here, but that's okay. We're going to finish setting up the account. We are using the standard account for $15.12, and we're going to try it for no cost for 14 days. All right, so I'm going to blur the screen here so that you don't get to see all my good stuff, but that's okay. All right. So starting July 1st, I will be charged $16.80 a month. I'll get 10% off for 12 months. That's good. So I'll be starting July 1st, 2026, $15.12 a month. That's good. Now you could find cheaper sources for email and all the other great things that you get with a Google Workspace account. But I'm here to tell you that this integrates almost 100% flawless with BizStackPro, plus some of the other things that we're going to get out of this, for example, calendars and things like that. So there we go. All right. Each user will add. I don't need any new users, so we're going to skip for now. Set up your domain. Here comes the hard part. Well, it's not really hard, but I'm just going to show you what you've got to do to make this happen. All right, there we go. It knew it. Our host is Namecheap, and then it's showing us exactly what we need to do. So let me open Namecheap and drag that over here, and we'll just do a side by side real quick. I'm in Namecheap. I'm going to sign in, and I'm going to go manage. Andy taught me how. All right, so let's drag this window down, and we're going to put over here on the left side. And then I'm going to bring you Namecheap, and we're going to put it over here on the right side. Let's bring it up here first, and then right there. Now we've got them side by side, and I've got to move this picture out of the way. Here we go. Now what we want to do is we've got to go create a new text record, a TXT record. So to do that, we want to go to DNS. Let's see, right here, Advanced DNS. And we're going to, this is a little bit squished. Let's undo this. There we go. We're going to add a new record, and it is going to be a text record. The host is at, and then the value is, this is the value. We're going to copy it, and we're going to paste that there. And then the TTL, we're going to make that the smallest we get, 60 minutes down to 1 minute. And that's what it says. Set it to lowest possible value. And then we're going to save this, save all changes. So we've just, excuse me, we've just added a text record that's going to allow Google to confirm that I actually own the domain name and have the abilities to do everything. All right, so we don't need to click go to Namecheap. Let's see what we need to do. We're going to confirm. And in just a minute, depending on how long it takes for the domain settings to propagate, then it's going to see this and we're going to continue. That's good news. Okay, we verified AndyTaughtMeHow.com. We're all set to use Google Workspace apps. So that's good to go. We're going to activate Gmail, set up Gmail to send and receive emails. So we're going to hit OK. Now we've got to make some more changes in our domain settings. Proceed. All right, so now we've got to get into the MX records on Namecheap. So let's go do that real quick. We're going to drag this back over here on the left. And then we're going to come right here. So mail settings, we don't want to do forwarding. We want to create custom MX. And then we're going to do exactly what it said here. Our host is going to be @ because that's the default. And then the mail server is going to be smtp.google.com. We're going to throw that right here. And the primary is going to be 1. And then we can leave this to whatever. I usually set it for mail. I set it for 5 minutes. And then, so we're going to save this. Oops. We're going to save this record. And now we have an MX record. So we're going to check this and it's going to confirm. Oops. All right. We're going to confirm this. The Gmail is activated. Woohoo! We can celebrate. We don't have anything to import right now. I'm not going to worry about that. Ensure your emails reach the inbox, not the spam folder. We're going to authenticate. So that's usually, yep, there we go. I was going to say it usually includes a DKIM, DKIM. So we're going to generate the key. And that's going to be another record that we need to add to Namecheap. So we're going to come back over here. Let's see, is there a special way to place that? Let's go and say actions. Nope. We're going to add a new record. I think a DKIM is actually a text. It is. It just said it right there. See right here on the left, it says a TNS text record. All right. The host is Google_domain key. We're going to paste that. The value, we're going to paste this. And then set to the lowest possible value on this. So we're going to do that. Now, I'm just letting you know that you're seeing this now, but because you're seeing this now, I'm probably going to end up and regenerate this key so that no one can spoof my record, and it's good to go. We're going to say here, and we're going to confirm. Or you know what I could do? Let me just blur that out. So you'll see that I have pasted a domain key in my record here. So that's good. Okay, we're gonna let this get generated throughout everything and confirm that it's working right. The good news is we're doing everything right now possible to make sure that our emails land in people's inboxes without being figured as a spoof or a spam or anything like that. So all of these things, although they take a little bit of time, they're necessary to make sure that you set up the best possible email service that you can. So let's let this continue. All right, Gmail is activated. We've done everything there. There's no, I don't think I need to do anything else. So let's go back to BizStackPro and connect it and be ready to do things like automation and emails and all that good stuff. So let's get back out of here. And then I'm going to, I think I'm going to just minimize this window in case I need to go back. And then let's go to BizStackPro. Oh, wrong place. Let's log in. Members.bizstackpro.com. There we are. Okay, we're going to be in the dashboard, starting off with the dashboard, and I'm going to show you if you have more than one BizStackPro account, you're going to want to come over here and make sure that you're looking at the right one. In this case, we're looking at Andy Taught Me How, and that's the right one. So let's go to settings. And then we've got a few different things that we can do. We can go to email services and set up right now the easiest way. We can create a dedicated domain. This makes it easier when sending if we choose to do that. Now that's going to send us back to Namecheap. So we might as well do it and take care of everything all at one time. And I'm going to do mail dot, excuse me. I want to use mail dot Andy taught me how.com. All right. Mail dot Andy taught me how.com. So the reason why you would want to create a new subdomain for dedicated is once that everything is trained and once everybody receives email from that dedicated domain, then if something happens and that domain in the future gets spoofed or something like somebody, however they could, start sending bad emails from that domain, then you can create another dedicated domain and use it for your main sending domain. Now, what am I talking about? Well, you've seen where people have sent emails. Maybe their computer got infected by something, a bug, and it started sending emails, just spamming everybody. Well, then that domain name that's sending the emails is going to get a bad reputation and will be triggered or blacklisted as a bad domain. Now, the good news is since we're using a subdomain, if that ever happens to mail.andytaughtmehow.com, then all I would need to do is create a different subdomain and start sending from it. It's kind of a way to protect yourself for future problems, although we don't ever want any future problems. So we're going to go add and verify. And we're going to connect our subdomain and we're going to continue and let's see what it says. It's going to go out and find out that we're with Namecheap. And it's going to say, this is what you need to do for Namecheap. There we go. So we've got to add all of these records into Namecheap. So let's break this out onto its own and bring it down here and kind of hide it here. And now we've got to go create text records, a CNAME, and some others. So let's go do this real quick. We're going to add a new record. It's going to be a text. And the host is going to be mail. And then we're including a SPF1. And then we can make this 5 minutes. All right. Then we're going to create a new text record, and it's for domain key. We're going to save all changes, but we can just continue going down the line. Text, paste that in, and get this record. And we're going to make that 5 minutes. We're going to add a new record. All right, so we did the first two. Now let's go do the CNAME. And this record type is a CNAME, and the host is there. And then that's our value. And then we're going to save all changes. Congratulations, we've done that. Now we need to add some new MX records. And the first one is mail. And it's going to mxa.mailgun. This priority is going to be, we can do 1 or 5 or 10, typically. We're going to make this a 1. We're going to make this a 5. And the next one, we'll make it a 5. All right, so MX, mail, excuse me, add a new record. And then we're going to do MXB. And this has a priority of 5, and we're going to give it 5 minutes. And we're going to save all changes. Now let's come back over to BizStackPro and tell it. Now it's going to take a minute to validate, but that's okay. We're going to verify. Domain not verified. That's okay. We've done it. We just need to wait. Oh, that's pretty nice. It hit MXA already. That's good. So we're going to keep verifying. Okay. So the good news is we have verified all the good stuff, and we've got to wait a little bit longer because it's still doing the SSL. That's okay. So we've dedicated that. Let's go back to SMTP service. We now have a dedicated provider. We're set to go there. Now, what we want to do is let's go see where we do this to go ahead and set up for, let's go see. Hey, this is Andy, back with Andy Taught Me How, and I'm still working on integrating your Google account, your Google Workplace account with BizStackPro. Now, I had a little issue yesterday, so I'm picking it up today. I had an issue yesterday in that I was not able to get Google to recognize my browser because I had all kinds of issues because I have so many Google accounts. So I got all that straightened out, and I'm going to pick up where we left off yesterday after we had just connected the LeadConnector email system to our new subdomain. So let me share my screen. All right. And any second now, you're going to see my fancy screen. Here we go. We are looking at my middle monitor. Not that that matters to you, but you can see that we are at the email services screen. And let's come down here and go to, hold on just a second. Let's turn that off. Let's come down. We're going to scroll down and go to integrations like we started yesterday. We're going to finish it up today. We're going to connect. And we are going to connect to our Andy at andytaughtmehow.com account. Okay, it's got to authorize two-factor authentication with my phone. So let me do that real quick. I did. And we're going to say, do we want to, okay, it would have normally asked me, do you want to allow LeadConnector to do all these things? And the answer was yes to everything. And you can change it based on whatever your preferences are. And I'm going to be honest with you. In this case, I want LeadConnector to do everything with my account. It's asking, do I want to, let me see. There we go. See the 11 services. Let me look. So it's going to interact with Google Drive. It's going to interact with my contacts, Google Analytics data. Now, we haven't started that yet, but as we continue the Andy Taught Me How 5-page website builder series, we will connect to Google Analytics, Google Webmaster Tools, and all the things. I'm giving LeadConnector the permission to send email, to create Google ads for me, to do all of these great things. And you can change any or all of these to not or allow. And I want to allow. So I'm good to go with that. And then I say continue, and boom, I am connected with my Google Workplace account to my BizStackPro account. So if we go into, for example, we go to contacts. I created a contact yesterday for Andy Delgado, which is Andy at andydelgado.com. So now that I've got it connected, I can send email right here from the CRM if I wanted to. I can click on Andy. I can, in just a second, as it all populates, I can say, send a new message right here. And it's going to know, because normally it would default to SMS for the very first time. But I'm telling it to send an email, and I can say testing again. And I'm making sure that the from is Andy at Andy Taught Me How. If I would have spelled that right, how.com. All right, so I can see right now, I can send a message directly to any of my contacts. So I can send an email message from any of my contacts right here within the CRM. And like I said yesterday, I don't remember if that's actually got into the video or not, but I'll tell you, I created this contact by hand just by simply going to add contact. Now, here's one of the great things about the CRM in BizStackPro. If you have a form on your webpage, let's say, for example, you're doing a registration to get a lead magnet. So the user goes to your webpage, they enter their name and email address and say, send me the whatever it is, send me the toolkit, maybe. And once they do that, then they are automatically added to my CRM here in BizStackPro. So then I can interact with them. I can see what emails they send me, and I can send emails to them, and it will show up right here. Another thing is if I create a contact form, like we're going to do on andytaughtmehow.com, googleworkspace.com/contact. There will be a form there that says you can send Andy a message. What's your name, first name, last name, your email address, and subject and a message. And then they can create an email right there and send it to me. And I will see that contact right here in the CRM, as well as be able to read the message, see the subject of the message, and I can reply right here in the CRM. That is an incredibly powerful tool. Not only that, using the forms that we have on our website, we can do automations to automatically send them information, maybe do a follow-up sequence, things like that. So that is why I will tell you, in my opinion, that connecting your Google Workspace account to BizStackPro is one of the best things that you can do. If you don't have a Google Workspace account, you can go to andydelgado.com/workspace, and you should see a graphic that'll show you that in just a minute. And then you can get started by, just like we did yesterday, by creating a brand new Google Workspace account. I think you get a 14-day free trial. Then after that, you want to do probably the $15 a month one. Right now, they've got a 10% off. Excuse me. So you can do the $15 a month one. It gives you access to all of the Google suite of tools, including Gemini. So you are set to go there. Now, like I said, it is probably the best add-on integration that you can do with your BizStackPro account, and that is getting your Google Workspace account hooked up to it. If you don't have one, do it that way. There are so many other email providers that you can use with your with your BizStackPro account, but I'm just telling you, for ease of use, Google Workspace is where it's at. That's it for me. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you later. Be blessed. Check out my next video. It should be up anytime now. See you later. Bye-bye.